to support the capacity building efforts of ISSA member organizations for good governance. And I will go now, as I promised you, into more detail to the good governance issue as an example of ISSA's knowledge. Can we click to the... yes, this is how the good governance guidelines shows. I've brought only one hard copy with me, but if you want to, I can send it to you as well. The ISSA Good Governance Guidelines for Social Security institutions is a self-assessment toolkit and is available in the 4 official languages of ISSA, namely in English, French, German, and Spanish. And you can access to the toolkit directly through the ISSA extranet. And let me be the first to assure you that the toolkit is very user-friendly. It offers many useful insights into how to improve the governance of social security organizations. The next one, please. The toolkit is divided into 2 main parts. Part A contains good governance guidelines for the board and management of the social security organization. And Part B contains good governance guidelines for 6 specific areas in social security administration, namely actuarial soundness, enforcing the prudent person principle in investment management, prevention and control of fraud and corruption in member benefits and services, service standards for members and beneficiaries, staffing policies and performance appraisals, and investment in ICT infrastructure. In the current triennium, guidelines in 5 additional areas of social security administration will be added to Part B, namely risk management, internal audit of operations, strategic planning, human resource policies, development, retention, succession of human resources, and the policy on whistleblowing. Next one, please. Without getting into detail of the toolkit, please allow me to briefly mention some of its important features. The first arrow. Can you click to the first one? So you can see that, well, you can't read it, I think. So the first is that each guideline is stated in the simplest of terms. So even a no-no can understand it, so to say. Second, there is a suggested governance structure to support the guidelines. And then the third, there are some suggested governance mechanisms to implement the guidelines. Next one, please. Fourth, there are links provided to an ISSA governance questionnaire, which you would find very useful, especially for those who would like to undertake a more intensive self-assessment on the governance practices of their organization. And I personally went through this questionnaire myself, and I can assure you that it's a valuable learning experience. Yes, next one. Fifth, and most importantly, there are links to good practices that are available in the ISSA Good Practice database. Through these good practices, the toolkit becomes not just another set of guidelines, but more importantly, a platform for learning through which member organizations share their knowledge and experiences. For example, the guidelines on financial sustainability of the program is supported by good practices from Cameroon, from Canada, and Morocco. And next, the guideline on risk management provides links to good practices in Anguilla, in Oman, Poland, and Uganda. And the next one, as another example, the guideline on investment in ICT infrastructure cites the good practices in Azerbaijan, Germany, Ghana, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. And I should like to take this opportunity to invite you to submit your organization's good practice to enrich the content of the toolkit. The toolkit will be revised to and add more good practices from which other organizations may learn. I should also mention that the ISSA Technical Commission and Organization of Management and Innovation, you must see that the ISSA, the General Assembly of the ISSA comprises of 150 countries. It's with a system of one country, one vote. From those 150 countries, there is a bureau of 40 members. And that bureau comes once or twice together in Geneva. The General Assembly elected the president and the treasurer, and the president is responsible for the daily things with the help of a Secretary General and a staff in Geneva. And within the structure of ISSA, there are some technical commissions on specific areas. And one of the technical commissions is the Technical Commission on Organization, Management and Innovation, which is responsible for developing the 5 additional topics to be covered by the toolkit. And if one of the members of the ISSA would join these technical commissions, they are mostly welcome and to bring in their expertise. Our member organizations here in this room in the Pacific Islands, namely the Fiji National Provident Fund, the Kiribati Provident Fund, the Samoa National Provident Fund, and the Accident Compensation Corporation of Samoa can benefit from this TCOMI initiative, and through them benefit the Pacific Provident Fund and Social Security Forum if they want to. And should you be interested in these member-to-member exchanges, please do not hesitate to contact the ISSA General Secretariat in Geneva to obtain information on how these twinning initiatives among ISSA members organizations can be arranged. Let me point out in passing that in 2010, in the 2010 Towers Watson Global 300 ranking of pension funds, 2 of the top 20 pension funds were Provident funds from the Asia-Pacific region, both of which are members of ISSA, namely the Central Provident Fund of Singapore with assets of over 102 billion US dollars, and the Employers Provident Fund, EPF of Malaysia, with assets of over 109 billion US dollars. And I should also add that EPF Malaysia is hosting the ISSA Liaison Office for Southeast Asia. But as I understand, during the lunch and dinners, maybe even Kuala Lumpur is too far away for your for this Pacific region. Let me go to slide number 9. Another ISSA guidelines in the pipeline. In the current triennium of 2011-2013, the ISSA General Secretariat and the ISSA Technical Commission are working on developing other guidelines, as mentioned, for the use of ISSA member organizations, namely the service quality guidelines for Social Security administrations, the investment of Social Security funds, guidelines on information and communication technology as an enabler of Social Security policy and programs integration, guidelines on prevention, guidelines on reintegration activities, and guidelines on compliance and the collection of contribution. I should also mention that although the ISSA General Secretariat will not be developing specific guidelines on actuarial issues, there is a project that will analyze all the existing actuarial guidelines, principles, and standards of practice to provide ISSA member organizations with a useful guide and reference. Next slide, please. The ISSA Bureau's new committee on ISSA guidelines and its mandate to ensure that the sets of guidelines that are being produced by the ISSA General Secretariat are of the highest professional standards and are the result of consultations with the ISSA membership, in particular with the Technical Commission, expert groups, as well as relevant stakeholders. The ISSA Bureau, which I told you is the association's executive board, established in June 2011, so 2 months ago, the Bureau Committee on Guidelines. And the main task of the Bureau Committee on Guidelines is to carry out an independent review of each set of guidelines to ascertain whether the prescribed steps included in the standard production process have been followed. Finally, I will draw your attention to a new ISSA liaison office for East Asia, because we want to bring the ISSA closer to the member organizations in the Pacific Islands. And I'm pleased to inform you that we will soon be opening the ISSA liaison office for East Asia. And this liaison office will be hosted in Seoul, in the Republic of Korea. But when even Seoul is too far away, I invite you to start your own regional office and to join together the ISSA membership, and then of course we can organize something here in the area. But if not so, before the 5th of October 2011, you are all invited to come to Seoul. There will be a technical seminar held on the 6th of October on the theme of administrative and operational efficiency and effectiveness as an opening conference for this liaison office for East Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I come to a conclusion. First, in an increasingly unstable world, more and more countries are finding a very effective tool in social security to provide income security and fight poverty. The ISSA is giving its fullest support to all its member organizations in facing the many challenges that arise from the emerging trends and developments. And I very much look forward to this conference, as it will provide important evidence on how the ISSA can better respond to the needs of the Pacific Island region. And I thank you personally for inviting me so that I could show to you that this region should not be a forgotten region. I wish you all an inspiring forum, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.